the noon hour of madness and mayhem, Victor Wilt Show edition, because Peaches is gone all week. How are you doing? I hope amazing. Little cruddy out there, at least in Idaho Falls. Be careful. Cold, little bit of snow coming down, roads a little bit slick, people driving like idiots. Yeah, be cautious. I'm not sure what's going on elsewhere in East Idaho, but you know, I just bombed quickly over to grab some food, and it's unpleasant outside. So while I was driving around, I was listening to this podcast that I've been listening to. It's a great podcast if you're listening for something, educational and kind of outside of the norm. I'm going to use a naughty word here. It's appropriate for air, though. The show is called Behind the Bastards. And this episode that I'm listening to it's called How Cigarettes Invented Everything. And, I saw the title. I'm like, okay, I got to check this out. And I got to say, it's actually really wild. All right. I want to talk about trading cards. Earlier on the morning show, talked about how the Pokemon store, a Pokemon store in New York City, had been broken into, by armed assailants. They were having some kind of a convention or something, and these, armed thugs come in with guns and hammers, steal $100,000 in Pokemon. It's crazy what trading cards can be worth. And do you know who you can thank for that? That's right, cigarette companies. And I guess I should have known about this, at least subconsciously. Because, I play a lot of Red Dead Redemption Part 2. I've 100% completed the game, which I don't know what the average time it requires of real life time to reach 100% on Red Dead is, but it's a really long time. And one of the things you have to do on Red Dead to get yourself 100% completion is you have to collect all the cigarette cards in the game. And there are a couple ways you can do this. You can do it the hard way by wandering around the world of Red Dead and finding them in random locations, or you can go to the store and you can just buy the cigarette packs over and over and over and over again until you get the full set of cards, because you got to have all of the card sets. I think you have to have all the card sets completed to reach 100%. So, I discovered this little hack in the game thanks to other Red Dead players and posting about it online. So you go to the store and you'll buy 100 packs and you get a different card every time because you don't know what you're going to get. And there's, I want to say 144 cards or something. I could be wrong. Let's see. How many cards? How many cards do you gotta collect in Red Dead 2? 144. So you go buy 100 packs of cigarettes in the game, and then you just go discard them. You just throw them away. Or you could sit there and, smoke them, but that'd take too long. So to get the card sets, you just throw them away. As I was listening to this podcast, they were talking about the history of trading cards, and it all goes back to these cigarette cards, these early cigarette manufacturers, because they were trying to sell a product to people that they didn't know they needed, or, that they didn't need. This is the beginnings of modern advertising. This was the first time it was ever done that some product that people didn't want, they're like, no, you gotta have it. So they tried to figure out tricky ways to get people to buy them. So they started putting cards with, ladies wearing risque clothing and things like that into the card sets. And they would get, people who want to buy the whole set. or they had to get the whole set of collectible cards. And in this episode, they said for one of the sets, you'd have to have bought, not packs, but 12,000 cigarettes. And so there's, I don't know if it was 20 in a pack back then, but either way, it's a lot of cigarettes. And of course, who got hooked on these trading cards more than anybody? That's right, young people. These companies, cigarette companies, have been, just evil from the beginning. Because, smoking should be common sense. It's not good, right? So they didn't care. They're like, we got to do whatever we can to sell as many of these as possible. So they, get these collectible items and get people hooked on, I got to have the whole set. And then you've got people hooked on one of the most addictive things on the planet, horrible cigarettes. Like, don't ever smoke, people. They're terrible. Nicotine's a horribly addictive substance, and you shouldn't use it. Just don't do it. Don't do it, okay? But flash forward 150 years, and here we are. Pokemon cards and all collectible cards, baseball cards, all of that. You know who you can thank? Probably for collectibles in general. You know who you can thank? Yeah, dirty cigarette companies. It's a wild episode. You can Google it up or go to Spotify. How cigarettes invented everything. I mean, they go into all kinds of stuff. We're talking, billboards. There's billboards everywhere. Who started that? Yeah, exactly. Those dang cigarette companies. Mass production of items, of all kinds of different things. And I guess most of them, collecting things, I'm not against that. It doesn't seem bad, but it's just weird how, one guy with one product could completely reshape everything about how the world works, like patent law and all kinds of crazy stuff, and with a product that just straight up kills people. Wild. So anyway, yeah, if you're a Red Dead player and you're having trouble collecting the entire sets of cards, you just have to buy 1 million cigarettes. Just like those young people back in the day did, who just had to have the complete collection. I know. It's a wild world. Yeah, check out that podcast, Behind the Bastards. I've listened to tons of episodes of it. It's very, very interesting, for sure. Very, very, very good stuff. Welcome to the noon hour of madness and mayhem, Victor Wilt Show edition. Peach is out all week, and I did not have time to find a co-host. So, sorry for those of you who hate my guts. All you get is me today. You can go ahead and tune out. Listen to Cupid with their sped-up songs and second date update fake bits. All right. I mentioned earlier the roads are kind of crappy. Might not be the best time to travel. Be cautious on the roads there. But I want to let you know about some additional fees you might have to pay at the airport soon. That's always great, right? Well, you know how you were supposed to get the real ID? The Star Card if you're here in Idaho? Well, now apparently, starting February 1st, if you don't have that, you're going to have to kick down the TSA $45. $45! Gotta be kidding me! I mean, I have a Star Card, so I'm fine. But, $45. Yikes. I mean, on a lot of airlines, you gotta already pay outrageous fees to bring a carry-on bag. Go get yourself a bottle of water for, Vegas casino prices. It's ridiculous. Wasn't there a law passed that airports were supposed to have market value prices for their items? Hold on here. Airports, market value. Let's see here. Market value in stores. Maybe we need to put that because I'm getting like the market value of airports. I don't want to know how much airports are worth. Retail market value? I swear, this could be one of those, Mandela effect things where I remember something that didn't happen, but I swear there was a law passed that airports had to sell items at a fair market value at their stores. And the last time I traveled, they weren't doing that. All right. Yeah, $8 for a bottle of water. Find me any store in East Idaho charging that much for regular old. We're not even talking Fuji. We're talking just a regular old Aquafina. It ain't happening. Air travel is so annoying. It's outrageously priced. And they're like bragging it up now, like, hey, you don't have to take your shoes off anymore. Yeah. But you're charging me, $10 for a Snickers. All right. I'll take my shoes off if I could get a good deal on, a snack. This is ridiculous. So anyway, yeah, they're just going to nickel and dime me some more. $45 if you haven't got your Star card. Or I guess you could use your passport if you have that, okay? Something like that. Good luck. Save money where you can. It's just how airlines work. And airports in general. They're out to make money. And, I guess that's the American way. Like we talked about earlier with the trading card industry. That's right, capitalism. The noon hour of madness and mayhem. Victor Wilt Show edition. Holy cow, I can't believe it's 12:53 already. And I have way too much work to do, and I've accomplished nothing. Fantastic. Just make sure to keep Jade off my back, all right? I don't want to hear his crap today. Got too much to do. I'm sure that with it almost being the end of the lunch hour, I'm going to have a couple staff members get back here and go, hey, did you get this done for me? And then they're going to be on my back too. Ugh. So anyway, I guess it could be worse. I don't got neighbors with gators or haven't been attacked by geese. Yeah, apparently in Oklahoma, sounds like they've got politicians working a lot like ours here. They're working on the stuff that really matters to people, like filing bills to let people own alligators without a permit. All right, if you want to have an alligator, I don't understand why you would. I think you should have to have a permit at least. I don't know. I think it's a terrible choice for a pet. Terrible choice for a pet. But if you want one, sure. But come on. These things are wild animals. They're dinosaurs. I think a basic, you got to have a permit to have all kinds of stuff. Got to have a permit to drive. I don't know, how about a gator? If your next door neighbor had a gator, wouldn't you hope it's licensed and kind of noted? It's not a surprise. I don't know, somebody knows it's there. That's what they're working on. Yeah. And then, there was somebody who got attacked by a goose. I'm telling you, birds, not to be messed with. Birds are terrible. They're mean. Some of them are big. There's birds bigger than geese, but still. This guy had to go to the ER after, getting attacked by a goose and then falling down, and he broke his hip. You gotta be careful. A lot of people bummed that the geese aren't crapping all over the paths by the river anymore. They might attack some old man, cause him to fall down, break his hip. He's all covered in geese poo. It's terrible. Good day to stay away from animals, I guess. Again, be careful out on the roads out there. It's slick. Be careful when you're walking on the sidewalk. It's slick. All right. I think that's enough show for now. I'm going to get on out of here. But I'll be back in the morning, bright and early, 6 a.m., bringing you my regular program. And maybe tomorrow on the show I'll have a co-host. We'll see. But I hope you have a great rest of the day. and I will talk to you soon. Thank you again for tuning in to The Victor Welch Show. This program is a production of Riverbend Media Group. To contact the show or for more information, hit us up at riverbendmediagroup.com.